What's going on, guys? Kivox and Meekachii here. We are doing our TBR for September. And in September, you are going to be doing the, what is it called? Magical Readathon?
Yep.
I don't do readathons. I don't like them. But we're going to be, she is going to be doing that thing. And we're going to also open, before we go over that, right? We're going to open up the wrapped books and the things to see if we could fit them into that.
No, I was going to go over like my initial picks and then let you know what I chose for each category. But then if once we open the others, if I can replace something, I probably will. Because let's be real, I can't read this many books. It's not going to happen anyway. We can go over that.
That seems like a lot of wasted time, but it's your thing. You already wasted the time looking up all these books.
My favorite part of readathons is making a TBR.
And then not finishing it.
Yeah, pretty much. I like making the TBR. I think it's fun going through your shelves, trying to like match prompts. And so first off, Kivox made this for me.
I did.
We have 2 art projects to show off today.
We do?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that one. I forgot about that one.
So he like made...
Make sure you hold it as far as possible so nobody can see it, you know?
Like an old parchment looking book. And this is like literally all of the information from the new Magical Readathon is in here, including the stuff at the end that you fill in and the prompts. And then he put the map on the back and kind of bound it together in like a...
it is bound. It's not kind of bound. It is bound.
a hardcover back.
Yeah, I thought that kind of came out like different and cool because it's like, you know, the pages, but then there's no cover, but then there's like this back cover. I
was super excited because actually right before we filmed this, Book Roast, the person that made this readathon, posted my picture on her page. Yeah, so it's
the nice ones that I took?
Yes.
Okay, good. Good.
I just have to say props to her. Like, she literally built this entire world. Like, if you've looked at this story, she created an entire backstory for this world. She created different characters. And it looks like
classes?
Well, no, there's not classes. No. There are characters.
They're like, classes. They're races.
Races.
Okay.
And then...
by classes, I didn't mean like school classes. I meant like fighter or wizard.
Yeah, no, we're all magic users. Like, that's the point.
You can still be a magic user that's a fighter.
School. So...
Oh, I thought you didn't like the whole magic school thing.
Oh, my God.
I suggested that to you for D&D stuff, and you're like, ugh, it's so overdone. But when somebody else does it, you're all in.
Not true.
Literally, you're all in. I spent hours making this for you.
It's true.
Literal hours. You even helped.
I did. It came out so cool. Technically, for this month of September, you only have to read 2 books. So how it works, I'm sure you've watched her video, is
if you haven't, remember to put it in the description, please.
I'll put the initial video.
Remember.
I will. So we have to basically follow the path on the way to the Aurelium Arc. You have to make your way all the way through the different prompts.
Where do we start?
Or the different areas.
How does this work? I like, this makes no sense to me.
You start here, and you make your way to these different areas until you reach this arc, which is your portal to the school. But you only have to finish 2 prompts, technically, to prove yourself. Like,
so you're like collecting gym badges, and
yeah. You have to at least collect 2 to get into the school.
Got it.
And like each one of these stops.
What if you collect more? What do you get?
Nothing, except, you know.
So do you literally just have to read 2 books in September?
Yes. Okay. Now I also chose prompts for the character sheet. So at some point in April, we're gonna have to read more books for this readathon for the school program. But if you want to do the part where you do the prompts for your character that you built, you can do that now through April. So I picked books out for those also. So the first stop...
This is so confusing. This is like over confusing.
It was confusing. It took me a little while to figure it out. This is called the Novice Path, which that's all we have to do in September. And the first step is Ashthorn Tree.
So will there be like another? So by the end of September, you're in school? You get 2 prompts and then you're in school?
Yeah, you're allowed into the school.
And then what happens?
We don't know yet. She hasn't announced it yet.
So there's going to be more to this?
Yes.
So how are we going to get a book 2?
She's going to make another video.
Oh, no. We're going to have to make another book?
I probably will at least have to print a new prompt sheet because there's going to be different prompts. There's probably going to be a different book. We'll see.
This is taking too long. We've been talking about this same thing for 6 minutes now.
So the Novice Path actually has its own prompt. So the prompt is to read a book with a map, and I'm choosing Empire of the Vampire.
Ugh.
I received
Disgusting.
a partial e-arc for this, and I've started reading it.
You haven't bought the physical?
I have it pre-ordered. I don't have it yet.
And?
It's not out until September.
And?
I like it so far.
Come on.
I do. You want to dislike it,
I
but
do.
I like
I
it.
do dislike it. I dislike it.
So obviously that book has a map. I know it does because he talked about it in Instagram videos and things like that. So that's going to be my Novice Path pick. Then we have the Ashthorn Tree pick, which is a book on the top of your TBR, a book that you keep wanting to read lately. And mine, it happens to be our book club pick. This one I cannot change because, it's our book club pick, so I have to read this one. But it's The Maleficent 7 by Cameron Johnston. It's kind of just like what I understand, like a fun adventure book, and it's not supposed to be serious. I kind of wanted something for the book club that wasn't so serious. We keep reading a lot of kind of heavier topics and heavier fantasy and things like that, and I wanted something just kind of like relaxed.
So it looks like we got like a Spartan looking dude, like a Reaper looking guy, some sort of warrior lady here. There's like a dual wielding witch looking person. There's like a sorcerer. There's a vampire. Mm-hmm. There is a vampire. You started reading it?
No, I read the back.
And then it looks like there's like an orc or something, some sort of goblin orc looking dude over here on the thing. It looks interesting. I have no idea what it's about. Did you want to read the synopsis to me? I'm sure you have already, and I zoned out.
All right. It says, a dark new faith is ravaging the lands of Esseran. Cities and towns crumble before its power, unprepared and unable to fight. Defeat and desolation seems inevitable. But dread demonologist Black Heron is not willing to give up so soon. 40 years ago, she abandoned her own bloodthirsty army on the eve of its final victory, but she won't do that again. To defeat this new foe, she needs to reunite her old captains again. Vampire, necromancer, orc chieftain, war god, twisted alchemist, and pirate queen.
I said orc?
Yeah. Can she overcome their vicious rivalries, persuade them to forgive her betrayal, and will these 7 legendary villains even be enough to defeat an army of fantastic hellbent on conquest? Fanatics, hellbent on conquest. I can't read today. It just sounds fun and you're like not serious. And I just kind of wanted something like that. I received this in the mail. I did ask for it, but I received it in the mail not too long ago, and I've just been wanting to read it ever since I got it. So that one is for that prompt, and this is one you will be reading as well.
Yeah.
What do you feel about that?
It's fine.
Book club is going to be September 26th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's on this channel. Anyone can join. It's a live stream. So after we go Ashthorn Tree, we have to do the Mist of Solitude, which is a standalone. I always forget these books are backwards for me, but I chose Uzumaki.
That means spiral.
By Junji Ito. He's a horror manga artist / author. And I've been wanting to read this for a while. Technically, is it really a standalone? It's basically a bunch of, I believe... I think this actually is a continuing story. I know Tomie wasn't really a continuing story. It sort of was, but it had increments in each. It had separate chapters. I think this one is more of a continuing story. Even still, like, it only basically comes in this format here in the US, and it's all in one, and that is a scary naked lady. So, yeah. I don't know what this is about. I think it's about scary spirals, and even if you're not afraid of spirals, this book will make you afraid of spirals.
Is that a thing? People are afraid of spirals?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh. Weird.
I'm told it'll make you afraid of spirals.
Totally it'll make you afraid.
Yes. Then after the Mist of Solitude, we have Ruin of the Sky, which is to read a ghost or haunted house story. I picked this book up on Book Outlet recently for a few dollars, and I think it's free right now on Audible if you are in the U.S., and I believe the U.K. as well.
The Haunted
by Bentley Little.
Bentley Little.
It says, Julian and Claire Perry and their 2 children, Megan and James, have made the move to a bigger, nicer home in their city's historic district, but something isn't right. The neighbors seem reluctant to visit. Claire can't shake the feeling that someone's watching her. Megan receives increasingly menacing and obscene texts, and James is having terrible dreams. It's a ghost story. That's the prompt. I love ghost stories, and it's a bonus that I could listen to it on Audible for free. Then we have to go to Obsidian Falls, and the book I chose for this because it's a thriller/mystery.
A Good Girl's Guide to Murder.
Is a Good Girl's Guide to Murder
That was
by
hard.
Holly
That was
Jackson.
hard to see.
In there, it is a weird cover. It's like she's essentially. I don't know. This book has so much praise.
Is that a horror too? Is this scary?
It's a thriller/mystery.
There's no such thing as horror books.
I don't know. I'm hoping that
I've
one's
never
scary.
read a horror book.
I haven't either. I mean, that's a lie. I probably one of the creepiest things I've read is Tomie by Junji Ito, and it was a manga.
But there's a lot of visuals there too. You know, that helps the brain.
This is a girl in high school, which this is what kind of threw me off at first, but people say don't pay attention to that, and it's still a really good book. But it's a YA thriller mystery. Someone from her school dies or gets murdered, and everyone's blaming someone, and I guess the police are even investigating this person. I don't know how far it goes, but she doesn't think it was them, and then she goes on and tries to investigate herself. Even though that sounds very tropey and very like, oh great, teenagers are going to save the world again, which I'm really sick of that trope. I've heard really good things about this, and I hear people say that even if they don't like things like that, this was still a good book. So I am looking forward to reading this, and that's why I chose it. So Obsidian Falls, and then we go to Tower of Rumination, which is a 5-star prediction. I'm not going to read this entire book, but The 100,000 Kingdoms is book 1 in the Inheritance trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. Because I loved the 5th season so much, I am predicting that this will be a 5-star book for me. Again, this is 3 books in one, so I don't plan on reading all of them. But if I choose this as a part of the readathon, I will read the first one in this. And I know nothing about this book. I don't want to know anything about this book. I just want to go in naked, not knowing anything. And I love that book, the 5th season, and Kivox hates it. How did you hate it, or you just don't really like it?
I think the writing is fine. I just don't like the story. I don't like the way the story like unfolds, and I had trouble like understanding what was happening sometimes during like combat, during like action. Yeah. What do you mean? When they're using their powers and stuff is happening.
Oh.
Like that is combat, isn't it? People never died. There was never a fight.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, then what is that considered? Is that considered combat? That is considered combat.
When I think of combat, I think of stereotypical like
you think
swords and shields and
not superpowers.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not true. I don't believe that comment.
That's what I thought.
I think you just forgot the book that you gave like a star to. I think you forgot how bad it was because it was so bad.
No, it wasn't.
And you're a terrible judge of life. Why the hell is it so big? You're not gonna read this.
Did you not listen to me? He literally did not listen to me.
I didn't.
I said it's 3 books in one, and I only plan on reading the first book.
You're not even going to read the first book. Come on now. To be fair.
Don't forget, out of all of these books, I only technically have to read 2 to win.
Then why'd you pick so many?
Because I don't know what I'm going to feel like reading. Then we're finally going to reach the Aurelium Arc, which is our final destination. The prompt for that is to read a book with a school setting. For that, I chose, The Arithmetist by Brandon Sanderson. I know
this is not in the Cosmere.
No, but I heard that it's set in a school.
It's Brandon Sanderson, so you know it's going to be minimum of 4. Come on now.
Maybe.
Come on.
It says, more than anything, Joel wants to be a rhythmatist. Rhythmatists have the power to infuse life into two-dimensional figures known as chalklings. They're humanity's only defense against the wild chalklings, merciless creatures that leave mangled corpses in their wake. As the son of a lowly chalk maker at Armidius Academy, Joel can only watch as rhythmatist students learn the magical art that he would do anything to practice. Then students start disappearing. I'm going to stop there. Sounds pretty cool. I don't think there's a second book to this yet, but I think he plans on writing more. Possibly when he's going to have time to do that is beyond me, but...
I mean, when people write every day, books get written. The problem is that authors don't write every day.
He does.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He writes. It's just like people are always like, oh, I can't write that much. It's too much writing. It's like you wrote a book in 30 years. We're still waiting for the sequel. Give us a sequel.
Do you plan on reading any of these so far besides the Maleficent 7?
Maybe the Rhythmatist.
I mean, it's Brandon Sanderson.
It's
right?
Brandon. That's the only reason.
I'll buddy read it with you. We could set dates. He hated this.
Do we
so
have
much.
to do that? Like, it sucks. I don't like doing that.
We'll buddy read it.
I recently read a book in like a day. So if I like enjoy a book,
Wait,
like,
what book?
Like, don't worry about it. If I like enjoy, you can wait until the wrap up.
What?
For me to tell you what I read.
I can't even check. I don't even know how to check.
That's cheating. Don't do that. Jeez. It's one of those things, you know. You don't want to be like held back by like your buddies.
I still have to finish my.
Unless you don't want to read the book, then you buddy read it so that like you're forced to read the book. You know what I mean?
So then.
But I have a book that I want to read.
Okay, wait, you want to talk about yours first?
Yeah.
But wait, can I finish the readathon and then
I thought you did.
No.
Oh.
Then you go on to your characters. So remember that these characters don't have to be completed, these character prompts, until April of next year, but I still chose them. The first is based on your background. My background, I chose as a wildling, so someone that doesn't live in like, or grew up in a city or whatever.
What's a wildling?
I just told you, it's someone that was...
Is that your race? This is the noisiest book in the world.
So it's just your background, whether you live in an urban area or you live in like...
Oh, so it's your background.
That's literally
not
what I
your
said.
race.
He doesn't listen.
Why don't you like say things?
I literally said my background
instead of like
is wildling.
Just tell people things, but you don't explain it to them.
God.
You know what I'm
so it's a
saying?
book largely set in the forest or outside. I'm 100% guessing on this based on the last two books in this series that Night of the Dragon by Julie Kagawa will be set outside because this is the third and final book in the Shadow of the Fox trilogy. And the first two were all traveling outside, basically, and her being outside for 90% of the book. So my guess is that this will be outside. I don't want to know what this is about. I know what it's about, but I don't want to spoil anything in this book because I'm really loving this series so far. And I want to see how it ends, and I hear it'll make me cry, which it probably will. If it makes other people cry, I'll probably cry.
Is that the third book? Yeah.
I literally just said the third and final book. He is really
Is this the
not
final
listening.
book, though? Is there going to be more after this?
Oh, my God.
All right, I just want to make sure. This is the one that has Yumiko in it.
Yes.
I wasn't listening. If you told me that, I wasn't listening. I
did not say that part.
I just made that up.
Now you can show the province that I chose. I chose to be from Carador.
You mean your race?
Province. So where I'm from, the map part.
Oh, okay.
This one. So I chose to be from Carador.
That one.
I believe I'd have to read it again. Let me see. I chose this one because it's kind of a mixture of everything. Soil steeped in...
Just take it. Just take it.
The continent's magical energy concentration is second only to Aurelium itself. The people and their cultures are as diverse as Carador's terrain. A piece of every continent can be found here. So I liked it because it was everything all in one, and it's kind of like where we're from almost, like the U.S. Like you can go somewhere and have different areas and essentially like you can be in one part of the country and another part and you have two completely different climates. Sounded cool to me. So for that, it is read a book from an ongoing series. So I chose Boundary Side by Robert Jackson Bennett. This book, I believe book 3 is still to come out, so it's an ongoing series.
You don't have to read the latest book or anything, or like a book that you already started. It's just like,
I don't think so. It just says read a book from an ongoing series.
That's a loophole, but okay. Makes sense. The wording is, if that is the wording.
Read a book from an ongoing series. That's literally
I believe you, man.
So this series isn't finished yet. It's still ongoing. This is book 1. It's about a thief, and that's all I know. I've read this synopsis like 5 times on this channel, and I keep saying I want to read it, and I never do, so that's my prompt for this as of right now. And then finally,
there's more.
You can show the person off.
Oh, the person.
My heritage, I chose, I think it's pronounced Skymorn, is the essentially your race.
The purple people, right?
Yeah.
The purple ones.
Legit, that's not why I chose them, though. Even though it works out because purple is like both of our favorite color. But they're thought to be like originated from Amalur's home. So it says nearly all Skymorn trade their wisp forms, which is immortality, for a biological existence once they reach the age of 200. The exact nature of this transformation is unknown. However, high-level transmutation is suspected. It just seemed cool. Like, they seemed like to have the coolest background. So for that, because they're the oldest known race that we know of, is read one of the oldest books you have on your TBR. And I have a lot that have been there for a very long time, but I would say probably one of the oldest books I've had on my TBR is Wrath in the Dawn by Readathon. When I first started my booktube channel or doing books here, this was a huge book that everyone was talking about, and I never read it. And I bought it on Book Outlet. Yep, it has the dot. And I think it was literally my first Book Outlet order ever, and I still haven't read it. So it makes it pretty old. I know that it's a 1001 Nights retelling / it's a book inspired by that.
I don't know what that means.
Me neither, but I don't feel like reading the synopsis, and it's an old book. So that's it. So now we're going to open the jar and the books.
Can I talk about my book?
Yeah, we will, to see if they fit any of these prompts.
You don't want me to do it now?
No, you could do it now.
Okay. Dune.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to read Dune. Anybody that wants to join me, I think I may make a video about it. Maybe I'll do a stream by myself.
I need to watch like a recap, or maybe you should just remind me what happens in that book. Because I read it last year and I don't want to reread it.
You mean I could just tell you what happened because you won't
me.
remember anything?
I'll remember some
And
stuff.
also you probably didn't even pay attention to half the stuff that happened.
I did.
Because books like that, you're usually like, wait, that happened?
Dude,
it's a dense book. It's a dense book. A lot happens.
But I paid attention.
And then there's a time skip. So
there's multiple.
I know all about that. But the movie's coming out. Let's cross our fingers, ladies and gents, because it was
September or October?
October.
Okay. 22nd?
22nd, I believe. Yeah, something like that. So I'm hoping that it actually does come out. I kind of want to go to theaters. One, because I want to support the movie more, because the movies don't make that much when you don't see them in theaters. And then maybe rewatch it at home on HBO, because it's going to be on HBO.
I'll allow it.
So I recommend, if you guys want to, like, you know, if you guys really are excited about a movie, or you're definitely like love a movie, you know, you're going to like it, go see it in theaters, because it, like,
you're going to really make T sad because she can't.
I'm just saying, like,
and she wants to see it in theaters so badly.
If you can support the movie by going to theaters, you should.
I know a lot of places are closing them down again, but if they're still open, we will go.
And I don't care about the movie theater. I don't care about supporting the movie theater. I want to support the movies because I want them to get sequels. Like, technically, Suicide Squad was a flop, but everybody loved it.
Yeah,
right.
Because no one actually went and saw it in
people
theaters.
did go to theaters, but the numbers weren't there. So technically, it was a flop, which really sucks because it was significantly better than the other ones. I also met somebody that was like, "That movie sucked," and I was just like, "Way better than the other one, right?" And they're like, "No, the first one was so good." I'm like, you know nothing. They're like, he's like, there was a like a giant monster in it, like that was like a starfish, and I'm
Wasn't
like,
he from,
I'm like, bro, he's from the first Justice League comic. Like, it's a thing. It's a callback. It's a deep cut. Like, you're obviously not a fan at all. And even if you aren't, you can still enjoy a fun movie. It was a fun movie. It wasn't like, anything. It
wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
It was
all right.
It was for it was a superhero movie. It was probably like the best DC movie. That and Wonder Woman. But anyway, Dune. Reading Dune. I may make some videos about it. I don't know yet. I was thinking about making like maybe 4 videos, like as I get like a quarter through, and then halfway, and then another quarter.
Are you restarting it from the beginning?
Oh yeah, I'm restarting it.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make it through the beginning pretty quickly though. So that's that. That's my other book. So you
have The Maleficent 7, Dune, possibly The Arithmetist.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Not yet.
Okay.
Now we got to do the Wrapped and the Jar.
Yeah.
Okay. So
you're not allowed to do the bottom one.
Yeah. This is the October book right here. So we're gonna take this one out.
He decided. I didn't decide.
That's our October book. It's a suspense book, so I want to read it in October, and I want to read it too. So, you know what I'm saying? No, I mean. I wrapped these, like a couple hours ago. I wrapped like 12 books. And we
thought it was 13, but it was really 12.
Yeah, I thought it was 13. It's a funny story. You should go back to January and rewatch that video, because that's when we opened the first one, and I counted them on camera, and I was like, 1, 2. There's 12 now. How is that possible? Even though we had.
I'm gonna find a wrapped book somewhere.
I just like it's on the shelf somewhere. So we have 4 left. 3. This one's preordained. Wait, what's ordained?
I don't know.
Pre-picked.
Yeah.
This is pre-picked for October, and then we have 3 other books. I'm gonna just shuffle them.
No, how about this?
How about this?
D6.
We got a D6.
So one will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's gonna be loud, dude. Oh.
All right.
Are you doing like pop 'em?
Yeah. So you're
just like.
No, oh God, no.
I landed on 2.
So, well, you didn't say the rules.
You know, like that. Remember that game where you popped it?
You didn't explain the rules.
Oh, I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So the first one is 1, 2.
Yeah, but I'll do it again.
Okay. What I was saying to do was.
I got overly excited.
What I was saying to do is, you just flip it over, and then open it up, and then we could show what it is.
Oh.
Get it? There you go. Don't look at it though when you flip it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ready? Noise.
You don't have to. 3.
3.
You're not even showing it, Meek.
My bad. Can you see the 3?
Yes, I can see it. So that's the middle one.
Ooh, is this what I think it is?
I don't know. It's big though. Oh, is it the Janie book?
Because if it is, man.
Don't rip the cover, bro.
You're going to read this one then, huh? You're not going to have time for all these books.
What do you mean I'm not going to have time for it? You know how many books I read this month?
No, I don't.
I read 4 books this month. Maybe more. I don't know. I don't remember.
This is by T and Kivox, or recommended by them. T knows I love these books. My Calamity Jane, this is the next one I need to read.
You know what sucks? I picked books that you wanted to read.
Well, this one particularly, like I went looking for it a couple months ago. So I'm totally going to change my prompt for, nope, can't do it.
So you just get rid of some. You only need to read 2 of these, my bro.
True. But anywho, I went looking for this book. I thought I didn't order it. I'm like, how did I not order this book? And then I went on Amazon. It's like, hey, you already ordered this. And I was like, wow, what happened to this book? And then I was like, oh, it's got to be wrapped somewhere.
You know what I'm going to do next year? I'm going to make a list of the books that I wrapped.
You should, for your own sake, at least. Anyway, so I have been wanting to read this for a very long time. I got my Contrary Mary.
Meekachii.
I don't want to read that until I read this. Don't know what it's about. I know that it has to do with Calamity Jane. The end. That's all we need to know because these books are great. What book could I possibly get rid of? Largely set outside. It might be a book that's largely set outside.
It's a Western. Of course it is.
Let me read it.
Where do you think it's going to be located? Like in a saloon?
Yeah, you never know. Oh, she stars in Wild Bill's traveling show.
In the West, do you even consider a saloon outside or inside? Like, because like legit, it's pretty much outside.
So
basically, everything back in the day was outside because there was no such thing as inside because there was no freaking lights. There was no electricity. There's no plumbing. Like everything is basically
True.
outside. It's like if you took a box and put it outside. Are you inside now? If you're in that box, no, you're kind of still outside. Also, camping. If you're in a tent, are you still outside? Are you camping outside, or are you inside camping? Are you glamping, as people call it, when you're like in a camper?
Yeah, I really like. I'm looking at these little things and like they just make me happy. Like these books just make me happy. It says, hold on to your hats, ain't afraid of the big bad wolf, and then messy hair, don't care. Like, I just love it.
Yeah.
They're so fun and funny and just like...
The authors are really good.
Enjoyable.
They're fun. They're fun books. They definitely are. The two that we've read so far are very fun.
Ooh, can I do this? Read a book from an ongoing series? Is it a series?
You can do that, or you can do the outside one. Which one was the outside one?
Night of the Dragon. I kind of want to read that. I'll figure it out. He made this dope TBR jar. Look at this cool
it's
thing.
a TBR chest, please.
Look
and thank you.
At this super cool jar.
It's not
chest.
focused on it. You want me to show it?
Yeah.
You got to like put it right here, man. See, it says TBR on it.
He surprised me one day and was like, I'm working on something upstairs. Don't come up here. And then he gave it to me at the end. It's really cool.
Do you want to open it?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to open? I got to pick a book, right? Look, it looks cool on the inside too.
Yep.
I'm going to pick this one right here. Good luck, dude.
I ended up replacing last month's.
Sherwood by Spooner.
Oh, Sherwood?
This is the female Robin Hood.
Yeah, I think it's like a sequel, though. It says, Robin of Locksley is dead. Maid Marian doesn't know how she'll go on, but the people of Locksley Town, persecuted by the sheriff of Nottingham, need a protector. And the dreadful guy of Gisborne, the sheriff's right hand, wishes to step into Robin's shoes. This could probably take over as one of the oldest books on my TBR. I don't know when I got this, but it's been a long time. So I could probably replace that with this. Or, yeah. Or it could be a standalone instead of Uzumaki. But I kind of want to read Uzumaki. We'll see. I basically have to read this book. I have to read My Calamity Jane, which I'm not mad about, and Maleficent 7. Those are really the only books I have to read. And then if I want to do the TBR, or rather the readathon, I have to choose one other prompt because the Maleficent 7 follows that prompt, one of them. So it could be easy, and I'm just making it hard on myself. So I think the month is doable.
Yeah.
You just don't like doing readathons.
Readathons, I mean, that's the best way to do it, though, where it's like spread out and it doesn't force you to read like 7 books in a week.
Yeah.
Like, that's no fun.
They don't do that readathon anymore, I don't think.
Good, because it was trash. I have like 3 books that I don't even remember reading during that time.
Yeah. So it's doable, and I'm excited. So you have Dune, possibly Rhythmatist, the Maleficent 7, and Calamity Jane.
Yeah, and you have all of the rest, plus those, besides Dune. So Dune's really the only original that I'm reading that you already read. Like, not original, like not the same.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a comment with the word dice.
I was literally going to say dice.
High five.
Why is this a high five?
Because we're up here and it's 5 fingers.
Now we're like those COVID commercial people.
No, they go like this. Elbows, because that's closer to your body, so therefore it's more likely to touch you. So yeah, dice. Include the word dice and make sure that we know that you stay tuned through this whole super long TBR. Also, let us know if you guys read any of these and if they're any good. Look out for the Dune something that I may be doing. Duning.
I want to be in those videos.
Oh God, do you have to though?
No.
So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. She's gonna go cry now, and I'm gonna go laugh. And you got anything else?
No.
Like the video, subscribe, join our Discord, Patreon, whatever. And say bye, Meek.
Bye, Meek.
Bye.